Menswear and men's fashion is beautifully complex, it is forever changing, it has one of the most hardcore audiences, yet it also has some of the most creative, passionate, and open-minded audiences as well. Menswear and men's fashion is beautifully complex in its own right, but there is a slight science to it, and there are things that do remain constant throughout the entirety of one's lifetime fashion cycle, and these are ideas, these are style guidelines, these are garments and building blocks that encompass the backbone of what men's style really is. And I really like to do these Menswear Essentials videos every season, sometimes twice a season if it merits it. And the reason is because I feel like these garments not only work in the season in which I release the video, but they also carry over for years and years to come. And as I always say in my videos, I feel like it's super important to make sure that your baseline essential wardrobe is intact before you start buying statement pieces, as well as rounding it out with some trendier pieces, because the essential wardrobe is gonna be what's going to carry you through every trend, through every season, through every fashion shift, through every style change, literally for the rest of your life, as long as you take care of your garments and maintain them well. So today we're gonna hop right into part one of the men's fashion essentials for the 2025 winter season. So today we're gonna start off with one of the most classic, one of the most timeless pieces that really rounds out the wardrobe, that's perfect for everyday wear and nowadays is quite easily accessible, and you can find some really nice fashion forward ones without really having to break the bank. And basically the fleece jacket is one of the best transitional season garments that works perfectly for a brisk fall night where it's not too cold, maybe it's a little windy but it's not really super freezing yet, but then it also works perfectly when layered up for even below freezing temperatures. And the best part about these is that you can get them in different weights for different utility, for different temperatures, different looks, different lengths. Some of them are definitely meant for below freezing temps, some of them are definitely meant for more fall, spring kind of temperatures. But the fleece jacket is very malleable in its utility. You can wear it so many different ways. It looks comfortable, it looks cozy, it gives a really nice kind of luxurious look, it's easy care, and they definitely insulate heat very, very well. Some of my favorites happen to come from 18 East. I have a couple from Supreme, and these come in very different pile lengths, which means the weight of the pile, the weight of the hairiness can change depending on brand, depending on garment. And there's just a lot of different ways that you could go about this, and you can get fleeces from pretty much anywhere these days. Some are more luxurious than others. Most of them are made from polyester. You can get some cotton ones like the 18 East fleeces that I really like. You can find a couple of really good ones on Essence. I know Engineered Garments has some, but all in all, the fleece is just the perfect garment that you could wear as a top layer on a 40-50 degree night, and you can layer it up even further on those really cold, snowy winter nights as well. Next up on the list for the men's fashion winter essentials for 2025, I want to talk about something that a lot of you guys have noticed I've been getting into recently, and I see why this particular item has such a deep-rooted history in American and Japanese culture, and that product in specific is the quality-made Western boot. The Western boot is one of menswear and men's fashion's trendiest garments right now, but it's also deep-rooted in American heritage style for its utility as well as its iconic look. They come very high above the calf. The heels are substantial. Most of these are made to be resold. They're crafted to last, and they just give a lot of coverage from the elements. One of my favorite Western boots of all time, probably my favorite boot that I've ever owned, I recently got from Unmarked, which is an amazing handmade Mexican boot brand where they actually eliminate waste, where the majority of their boots are actually produced to order. And not only that, but they're engineered for longevity, meaning that these can be repaired, resold, and kept in your wardrobe for a very, very long time. My favorites from the Unmarked collection are the Durango version 2 boot, which is by far the highest quality black boot that I've ever owned. I pretty much wear this one every day now because I love it so much. It's the most comfortable shoe that I've ever worn in general, because the construction of the insole as well as the boot itself, the intricate stitching and details on the shaft, everything about this boot is just beautifully constructed. The shape that Unmarked took for the insole literally caresses the ball of the foot so well that as soon as you put these boots on, you know that you're wearing something high quality, something luxurious, and something that speaks money well spent. These are definitely my most complimented boots as well, because they don't have an odd, irregular shape. They actually have a very dressy shape in my opinion, and I think that the heel is the perfect height to give a little bit of a strong presence without looking a little too feminine. And to top that all off, Unmarked is one of the most renowned boot makers on Bootmaker Reddit, on Boots Enthusiast YouTube, you name it. Unmarked has some of the best Western boots that you could ever buy. I also really like the Naked Wolf Desperado cowboy boot, which is an incredible, also Mexican-made Western boot that has a lot of detail as well, including this really just plain sexy buckle on the side of the boot that I feel like really sells the high-end streetwear kind of look that this boot evokes. This one is also a handcrafted boot in this beautiful suede. I've been wearing these a lot recently as well. They have a very interesting brownish kind of reddish color to them, so you definitely want to make sure that if you want to cop something like this, you don't want to wait too long. This boot is very easy to style. It is very high on the leg, which I like because again, it provides a little bit of a sense of like security and protection from the elements. It also gives off a really nice and strong but not too aggressive presence, and it's just something that's really easy to style with any type of wardrobe and any type of look. For the third item for the men's fashion essentials for winter 2025, I want to talk about the long overcoat. The long overcoat to me is not only an essential piece in the man's wardrobe in terms of style, but it's also, in my opinion, like a rite of passage. To me, the long overcoat completed my wardrobe in a way where I finally said, I finally done it. This is the piece that rounds out my entire winter wardrobe. It works with everything. I can wear it every day. I could dress it up. I could dress it down. I could wear it with dress pants. I could wear it with high-end jogger pants even. I could wear it with jeans, corduroy pants, casuals. I mean, the long overcoat is the pinnacle of menswear elegance, as well as just protection from the cold and wind in a way that no other garment in men's fashion really does. This garment speaks luxury. This garment speaks elegance. This garment speaks intentionality within the wardrobe. It speaks confidence in the man that is wearing this overcoat, and they can come in so many different colors with so many different fabrics, all different types of styles, and they don't just come in heavy wools. They can also come in cashmeres. They can also come in Teflon raincoats, which are great for the spring. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can incorporate a long overcoat into your wardrobe. And if you guys take anything from this channel and never watch it again, please let it be that you have to get yourself a long overcoat. I happen to get mine custom made, but you don't have to get yours custom made if you don't want to. There are some great brands, again, like 18 East, that have amazing overcoats that are quite long. You've also got Wythe New York, and then you have beautiful Japanese brands that are celebrating the excellency of the long overcoat and truly elevating it a step further. For the fourth menswear essential for winter 2025, I want to talk about the simple yet always functional and quintessential fleece back sweater. The fleece back sweater is probably the most common essential item that you're gonna see on pretty much everybody's list. But the thing is, I'm not gonna recommend you get a cheap fleece back sweater. I'm also not going to recommend you any that I haven't tried myself, because the thing with these is that they're very hit or miss in terms of how they can fit, how they can look. This is one of those garments where you really do get what you pay for, and the fabric really does make the quality and look of the garment, especially considering that the fleece back is directly going to be on your skin, and cheap fleece back sweaters really don't feel good. I've had friends that have bought cheap ones that actually have developed rashes because of them, and you just really don't want to deal with that. So today I'm going to recommend one of my favorites, which is the Olivo fleece back loop wheel Japanese fabric sweater, which is a loop wheel cotton sweater that has no side seams. It falls beautifully on the body. It has a feather soft drape, as well as elongated ribbing on the hem of the body, as well as the sleeve, to give a little bit more of an expensive luxury look, but also so you can kind of manipulate the cuff and shorten it if you want to by rolling it up, which I've seen a lot of people, particularly in Japan, do. And it's also just made from some of the highest quality Japanese fabric that you could get. I particularly own the white as well as the gray. This gray though is absolutely my favorite because I love the grain or the melange kind of look of the sweater itself. It's very wintry, it's very easy to style, and it's a color that literally is never going to go out of fashion. This type of sweater works perfectly for anybody of any build, any size, any color, any style, no matter how advanced or how much of a beginner you are. This is the perfect fleece back sweater that you could get. I also love the Burgess Plus Fleece Back Essentials. Namely, one of my favorites is the turtleneck fleece back athleisure style sweater, which also mirrors that kind of look with those elongated hems on the body as well as the cuffs. But this one also comes with a really nice higher neck that's made from the same ribbing as the hems of the sweater, and it's also got some of the softest fleece on the inside of the garment that you could ever expect from a truly quality made Japanese garment like this. And for those who don't know, Burgess Plus is the in-house brand for Hinoya, and Hinoya is basically the biggest Japanese men's fashion retailer that services not only the country of Japan but the entire world. So you can best believe that they know quality, they know clothing, they know fashion, and they for sure know the science behind timeless heritage style. And not just the turtleneck, but Burgess Plus on Hinoya has so many other crew necks, sweaters, loop backs, fleece back garments that you could find that you could maneuver and flavor to your own style profile. You don't have to go with the turtleneck if you don't want to. I know a lot of people don't like them, but either way, the fabric is still some of the finest fabric that you could get and is another sweater that's gonna last in your wardrobe for a very long time. Now, for the last of part 1 of the men's fashion essentials for 2025, I want to talk about the corduroy pant. And this is a garment that's had quite a bit of controversy when it was first reintroduced as a trend a year or so back, but the reason why I wholeheartedly recommend getting at least 1 or 2 pairs of corduroy pants is it's simply one of the easiest garments to wear in the wintertime, to look good, to look elegant, to look luxurious, to evoke confidence. I mean, the corduroy pant has a velvety plush feel and a beautiful look that you really just don't get from any other pant. I personally was wearing corduroy pants even when they weren't trendy, just because they're functional and because they're kind of a step above fashion. They're above the trend, they're in their own stratosphere, which I call class. And class or classic style is always going to triumph over the fashion trend, making the corduroy pant a garment that is essential for any man of any build and any fashion background. Whether you like something slim or something baggy like I do, something in between, something timeless, the corduroy pant is going to be one of your easiest garments to style and is going to elevate even the simplest of men's fashion outfits. My favorite corduroy pant that I've ever owned is by this new men's fashion brand called Uniform, or rather Uniform Garments, which is a brand from Denmark that strives for accessible luxury elegance in minimalism and fineness of fabric. And their mission is to deliver the highest quality garment that they could give you at a very, and I mean very reasonable price point. I mean, they're literally using the same fabrics that most brand would charge $600, $700, $800 a pant for. And this one I have here is their corduroy pant in their beautiful baggy, super wide leg and high-waisted trouser cut that to me is the perfect silhouette in my opinion. I love the way that this looks. And the wide wale corduroy gives off an incredible look and an incredible presence that gives a lot of visual interest to even the simplest outfit. I also love how high this one sits on the body, because y'all know I love me some high-waisted pants, and I just think that it flavors men's fashion very well, especially my own style. But if you didn't want to wear them that high, you could definitely bring them down on the waist a little bit to give it a little bit more of like a streetwear-y kind of look. This is probably the most comfortable corduroy pant that I've ever worn, and it is definitely wind-stopping. It's easy care. You could literally brush any type of lint right off of it, which is the nature of what corduroy is supposed to do anyways. And not just these corduroy pants, but Uniform Garments has a lot of other pants that you could cop that also mirror the look and quality of this one. Another corduroy pant that I love, I actually tried out at Standard & Strange by this Japanese brand called Man Italy, which is a brand that elevates tailored classics to a modern level while still maintaining a heritage timeless look. And their corduroy pants, which also happen to be brown, are beautiful in their own right. They're slightly cropped. They have a really nice look to them. They're comfortable. They're full cut without being too baggy. And these also literally just go with almost anything. So definitely make sure to check out Man Italy on Standard & Strange if you haven't already. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Keep in mind, this is only part 1. I am going to do a part 2 in a couple of weeks because I do have a lot more garments and menswear essential recommendations to give you, but I didn't want to throw it all in one long video because y'all know that I could talk about this for hours. But I figured, let me just give you these to chew on for a little bit, and then we'll move on to some other ones in a couple of weeks. But anyways, guys, if you have any any other topics of discussion or any menswear related questions that you have that you want me to cover, definitely let me know down in the comments. As always, I really appreciate the love. I appreciate the repeat commenters. I love y'all so much. And I've got some really exciting content to come, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But anyways, with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.